How's it going, everybody? All right. I'm assuming you guys have, but if you have not, definitely check out new video. What's up, Preston? What's up, Rossi? We got I can draw on the screen now. Figured out how to do that. All right. I've barely watched the offense because I've been watching the defense literally since the film came out. Yeah, I gotta get up to speed on what our offense was doing, Rossi. Gotta turn off Twitter notifications so my phone doesn't buzz because I'm just so popular. It's good, Eddie. All right. So Chiefs are in 2-man. Dump it off to Julio. This is where they got Ferkser on the pick route. I love starting the game off with play action. And this is I've talked about this on film rooms before, but this is like one of the bread and butter concepts of West Coast offenses like Tennessee's. It's called Portland. But you're going to have a post route and a dig route. And you want to do this a lot of times they'll come out in just 22 personnel or 12 personnel. So right here they're actually in I guess they're in 21 personnel. You got 2 backs, 1 tight end. You could call that 30 personnel, honestly. But you get Kansas City you get the defense to stack the box here, and you've only got 1 single high safety like that. You've got this dig route and this post route, and there's basically 1 safety in total that can help. And so you're banking on Julio and AJ to win their one-on-ones. If the safety bites on the dig, you can get the post. Usually he won't, and you'll just end up getting a dig route. But yeah, the Titans do that a ton. I was actually wrong. It was flip the field. It was post on the right side, post on the left side, dig on the right side. Hey, appreciate it, Khalil. A name, you're in for a big surprise because I'm about to be on his show after this stream. This is gonna be like a short stream, probably like an hour and a half, and then I'm going on to Rossi's show at 9 Eastern time. Yeah, I noticed just from like my first watch through, they were playing a ton of single high. So it looks like probably weak side flood here. So we're gonna get play action in this direction, or not? No, it's just normal flood, not weak side. Play action in that direction. You're gonna have crosser, intermediate out, and then a deep out. Hey, appreciate it, Donnie. They call this a triangle read because the quarterback has 3 reads here, and ideally 2 defenders that are trying to cover those 3 routes. And it's just a levels concept where you're creating 3 levels of the defense. And it's like with a lot of passing concepts, it's pretty much just whichever route he doesn't pick, you hit, unless you get a guy that beats their one-on-one. But yeah, they call it flood because you're flooding one side of the field, creating too much for them to really handle. Thanks, Basket Sphincter. Yeah, y'all let me know what you like as far as like the videos. I feel like live streams are kind of better suited for more just play by play, like, hey, this person has a good block here. You know, it got to a point with the film rooms where I'm going down almost every play where it felt kind of repetitive just to be like, good job by Jeffrey Simmons to shed this block. It's like you kind of run out of stuff to say on a lot of the more mundane stuff. And so I'll do that if there's nothing huge to talk about, but I think the condensed film rooms, it's going to be like one topic every week of like something big or important that I noticed. And then I'll do like a live film room that's more of a play-by-play. Saffold and Ben Jones do a good job teaming up on outside zone here. And then for those of you that are subscribed on Patreon, I'm just going to do the full condensed film rooms like normal for you guys. So you guys are getting all the content you need. So it's outside zone. Outside zone rules are, if you're covered, you're going to reach block. So covered means there's someone in your play side gap. So play's going in this direction. So the right side of the field is play side. If we look at Roger Saffold, he's covered because he's got whoever this scrub is in his gap. Ben Jones is uncovered because there's no one in his gap. So if you're uncovered, that means you're going to the second level and you're digging out this linebacker. Ben Jones is covered, so he's trying to reach block here. But if you're uncovered, usually you want to help with that reach block. You know, a reach block is difficult because both of these players are trying to get to the same direction, but he has a full step on you. And Ben Jones always does a really good job of, watch how he lands that little punch that lets Roger Saffold secure that outside shoulder. That's it. There's a ton of, he does a great job helping his guards out. If you look at any of Roger Saffold and Nate Davis's best reach blocks, a lot of the time Ben Jones is landing a killer punch. Hey, thank you, Tyranor, maybe. What's up, Brandon? Um, look at LeGarrette Blount to get spacing. What do you mean by that, Eddie? LeGarrette, is he like coaching at Oregon? This is such an accurate pass. I mean, this is the toughest. This is like the throw when you're evaluating a college quarterback, like for the draft or something. This is the throw that all the coaches want to see on film or like at a quarterback camp or whatever. It's a deep out route to the field side. So just so you know, the field side, it's based on the hash. So the boundary, this is the boundary. It's the short side of the field. Then the field side is the wide side. But accurate throw to the open side of the field is like one of the most difficult throws to make. If you're talking about like Oregon from like the late 2000s or like early 2000s, like I don't know, I feel like the NFL and honestly like defensive football minds have kind of figured out like the super spread offense to the extent that Chip Kelly ran it. But I mean, they've been mixing, like literally, just as I say that, they've been mixing in like sort of a lot of spread concepts when they get Henry the ball. I like this little like, it's like a draw screen kind of, like draw without the handoff. But I definitely agree that, whatever you can do to get Henry the ball in space, I just don't know that. I don't really see like Chip Kelly as someone that's super innovative at this point. Obviously he was back when he was first getting started, but everyone kind of knows how to run the spread now. We've had LeGarrette Blount and Jared Cook, like two of the just biggest freak athletes ever that we just we had early in their career, and we just let go. Okay, I got you. Spread offense is fun to watch. Like obviously I've been watching it a ton because I watch all the Tennessee college games. They line their receivers damn near on the sideline every play. I'll be paying close attention to Kendall Lamb when I know he graded really well. Reminds me, got to add a +1 for Ben Jones there. Good play. And a +1 for Ryan Tannehill on that accurate pass. Derrick Henry is just always ignoring the open quarterback on the sideline on these plays. I'm gonna go through all the offense first since my entire video is on the defense. If there's anything that Right. Yeah. That's pretty much like, I feel like honestly, running the Josh Heupel kind of like just extreme version of the spread offense is the best way to make up for not having great talent at the college level. Because if you watch the routes that the receivers run, it's really just curls and vertical routes. It's like basically we're gonna come out in 11 personnel. Um, our receivers are gonna sprint downfield every single play. If they have their corners beat, they're gonna keep going. If they don't, they're gonna cut it off and run a curl route. And then if you go into too high to try to stop that, then we're gonna just run counter and trap and inside zone. And then if you bring down that safety to stop the run, then we're going to go back to the pass. If you start playing off coverage, then we're just going to run quick screens the entire game. Like it's a really simple offense to pick up, and really the only like the main skill set you need is just like fast receivers and a quarterback with an arm. Yeah, I need like a bigger sample size before I can really say what I think of all the empty and four wide receiver sets and stuff. I mean, I do wonder, like, I think there's a chance that they're not doing that based on some philosophical thing of like, oh, we want to, spread the defense out, or we want to run four wide receiver sets. I think they don't have tight ends that they like want to have on the field. I think they like their third, fourth, fifth receiver a lot better than they like their second and even first tight end. I think they should probably like Michael Pruitt more, but there's a reason I'm not a coach, I guess. Jerry McNichols making plays on 3rd and long. Good job by Kendall Lamb here. Y'all understand that Frank Clark has, I think, 9 pressures and 0 sacks, and he's like the 4th lowest graded edge rusher by PFF in the NFL. And he is the 7th highest paid player. I think he makes 20, like in the NFL, including quarterbacks. I think he makes $27 million. People talk about that, but I don't think people talk enough about how that is the worst contract like of all time, maybe. Play action and basically just play action vertical. Just saying one of y'all beat your corner. Single high. Safety cheating over to this side. And AJ Brown is on, I think, L'Jarius Sneed, I believe. That's no problem. Just some nice power there. Good block by Michael Pruitt. Swaim's picked it up as a blocker the last 2 weeks. pitch to Josh Reynolds. They need to get once AJ Brown, like, I don't know if he's fully healthy, but they need to work the sweeps and the reverse handoffs to AJ Brown that they were doing back in 2019. Work that back into the offense. Damn. Oh, we got Raiden's in here. All right. Little rookie action. Dylan Raiden's right there. Okay, so the first step's okay. Lands the stiff arm. Yeah, he needs to like, when he gets right here, he needs to be like driving through the linebacker. Instead, he kind of like, he turns his body and starts driving him horizontally. Gives up the angle. Yeah, it's like Saffold's honestly having when he's on the field, he's having, in my opinion, the best game of his career as far as just like on the field performance. But if he can't start staying healthy, I could definitely see him being a cut candidate. Could save a lot of cap space next offseason. And if they like Raiden's at guard, then again though they could also feel like Taylor Lewan could be a cut candidate because there's Kendall Lamb getting pushed back a little bit. Tannehill dime to AJ Brown. Let me look at AJ's release here, see if he did anything. Yeah, just a nice move on Rashad Breeland. I tweeted this, but like, it was crazy just how, 10.5 mil. If you're on Spot Rack or Spotrack, however you pronounce it, see how much Tannehill is. I feel like it's, or not Tannehill, Taylor Lewan. I feel like it's somewhere in that range. But I tweeted this about the game, like, this was one of the just chillest watching experiences ever. Like, I was, from the first snap, I was like, never really in doubt, never worried, never even really that emotional about it. I was just like, yeah, we're getting it done. Look at Ben Jones and Saffold teaming up on this one. Again, he's got the stiff arm on Sanders. Shoulder dip by Saffold to get under there and then just drives him through. Ben Jones gets to the second level. Looks like Nate Davis. Nate Davis is like, he's blocking outside. Nate Davis right there. He's blocking outside zone, and it's always a lot easier if the defensive lineman you're trying to block takes like a hard direction or a hard step play side, so that y'all are going in the same direction and he can't just undercut you. But he gets his base too narrow. His feet are kind of covered by other people, but you can see his heels are clicking as he's trying to drive through, and you're basically just on stilts with like a 300-pounder trying to push you off of him. Whole line to be replaced in 3 years. Could definitely see that. Yeah, I mean, I assume you mean starters. I could definitely see Radens playing out his whole contract at least, but yeah, John Robinson has kind of he kind of has the similar like Belichick philosophy of he'd rather move off a guy too early than too late, which I agree with. Yeah, look at Saffold here, just manhandling this dude in pass pro. I mean, the Chiefs front is terrible, so. See what they're doing with their route concept here. Faking the quick slants. Looks like he had whoever this is right there. Yep, Jarrell, Logan Ryan, Wesley Woodyard to an extent. Nick Bolton for the Chiefs, who just made the tackle, had like exactly the type of game that's exactly how I expect his career to pan out. He's a rookie. I thought he was a terrible coverage player. He was getting abused in coverage, but really good run defender. Yeah, so it's just duo. I think, yeah, like duo where you're just trying to get double teams on both of the tackles, and then you come off of it into the second level and block the linebackers. It's basically power without the puller. David Quessenberry just like needs to come off of this block. There's no reason for him. Like Nate Davis has got him. There's no reason for you to just keep barreling into him. You think he made a bad read on this one? Yeah, I mean, both of the B gaps are filled up. Yeah, I mean, I think the rest of the year will be big for Lawan and Saffold to I think Lawan's been playing great outside of that first game, and Saffold's been playing really well, but just to prove that they can stay healthy. The thing with Lawan is it's like there's certain injuries where it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's getting old. You know, he's injury prone now. I don't really think a concussion is one of those. It's kind of just like a freak thing. But yeah, we'll see. This was a great catch by Derrick Henry, one-hander. I don't think he's had a single drop this entire year. Kill, kill, kill. So yeah, this is what exactly what I was talking about with outside zone, how it can be tough. Like the entire O line's going there, reach there, second level, reach. If the defender that you're trying to reach doesn't step play side, like if they're pinching, you know, or you know, running some sort of run blitz or whatever, it can be tough to land that reach block. But yeah, Saffold, he's just gonna cut inside on him. Saffold can't get the angle. Yeah, I'm excited to see Jay on. I hope we get some Jay on and David Long duos there. All right. So Chiefs are in 2 high. Tannehill's first thought is cover 2 maybe. He's gonna, the motion, nobody really follows him. So now he's thinking probably cover 2. He's got this route right over the middle, just getting right over this Mike linebacker. Puts it there perfectly. Good catch for Pruitt. Did Evans get hurt? I don't know, man. People were saying like Evans still looks hurt or whatever because he didn't look that explosive. I never really thought he was that explosive to begin with. Give Tannehill a point for that throw. Derrick Henry a point for his one-handed catch. Screen pass to Josh Reynolds. Trying to figure out who our secondary players were was kind of brutal for this game. A lot of new numbers I had to learn. Yeah, so Chiefs are in single high. Looks like it's just going to be cover 1. It's 1st and 10. They're just going to run double slants. Tannehill needs to have a little bit better placement on this ball. Needs to place it like right here. Places it on the outside shoulder. It's a nice block by, who is that? Is that Jeff Swaim? Yeah, a lot of plays were like, lot of plays where Nate Davis isn't necessarily losing the block, just not getting a ton of push. Letting that nose tackle hang around for too long. So 3rd and 6 right here. Yeah, Tannehill had 2 guys that were way more wide open than so they're running they're in a bunch formation versus man coverage. They've got like a post route and then another. Yeah, so they're just doing like double posts from bunch with like a flat route from Ferkser or Swaim, whoever that is. But he's got Ferkser open for a first down. He's got this open right there. See if he just locks in on Julio as a read. I mean, I guess, like, I don't... In the red zone, I don't really hate just, Yeah, he looks over there. I don't really hate, like, locking in on Julio and being like, I'm going to give him a jump ball. Looks like Julio kind of gets flushed out a little bit. Good, is that Rashad Fenton? Rashad Fenton plays like a lot of slot corner for the Chiefs. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. But he's playing with outside leverage, so doesn't want to give up. Oh, got my pin turned around. Doesn't want to give up an inside release. Never mind. Playing with outside leverage, so he's fine giving up an inside release because he's got safety help that can come and if he's running like a quick, not a quick slam, but if he's running like a dig or a post, he's got safety help that can come stop that. So Julio wants to release outside. He's playing with outside leverage to slow that down. Fenton does a good job of not giving him a clean release, flushing him to the sideline. Just not enough space to work there. We'll watch this defensive play. It's the yeah, Zach, I'm going to post the full stream, and then also we'll add timestamps sometime tonight or tomorrow morning, so that you can go click through and watch stuff that you want to see. So they're in just straight up cover 3 sky here. Got there, deep, deep, deep. Honestly, like, one of the things I was noticing is that even, the Titans defense, like the coverage was better than honestly I could have dreamed of, but Patrick Mahomes still missed some open stuff. I would like, Rashaan Evans, when you're playing hook curl, and you've got the number 2 or the number 3 receiver that's running a dig or something that's in breaking deep to intermediate, you want to wall them off and close that first open window, and then you want to break off and get back into your zone. He kind of carries Mecole Hardman on this route a lot longer than he probably should. David Long's got him right here, and Evans needs to drop back and close this window because Mecole Hardman's screaming open on this dig route. So if Mahomes wouldn't have gotten flushed out of the pocket, he probably could have hit that. Good job by David Long, though, to pick up the route and then just ball skills, tips it up. Great catch by Rashaan Evans. This is another, like, Patrick Mahomes does this a ton where he'll either take way too deep of a drop, and so like the pass rushers that are normally trying to take this angle, now they get to take this angle, and it's just impossible for the pass blockers or for the tackles to pass protect. But he'll also just bail from clean pockets way too much. Like, he doesn't need to scramble here. He can just back up, but then he runs, and then now he's got pressure. Pulling the guard. Good block by... Nice lead block by Blossingame right there. Jeff Swaim just gets pushed back. Ben Jones looks like loses balance. Number 90 is able to get to Derrick Henry. Trying to see what coverage they're in. Kind of looks like yeah, I mean, it's just like a zone blitz with cover 3 on the back end, it looks like. Let's look at this pass protection. Yeah, I mean, Tannehill does the right thing here because he's hot. The Titans are sliding their protection to the right. It's always hard to know directions when the screen's flipped. But he knows that he might have someone that's unblocked, so good job getting the ball out of his hands. So far it's linemen not winning their blocks. This is really like my first watch through of the offense. So I don't like that. A lot of like coaches do this thing where they assume that you can just double an edge rusher. Like, if you just put 2 tight ends on an edge rusher, that equals 1 offensive tackle. But chip blocking is not really that simple. It's kind of it can be kind of hard to really get right. So they're having Pruitt come over and help Jeff Swaim on Frank Clark. Pruitt's thinking that he's sealing off the outside. Jeff Swaim doesn't know to protect the inside, ends up getting countered. Sambrello gets beat by 97, whoever that is. All right, word. Appreciate it, Derek. Is that Swaim on the... Whoever this is. Hell of a block. Yeah, Jeff Swaim. Way to go. Nice block downfield for Marcus Johnson. Did I say Sambrello did something, David? If so, I made a mistake. Ooh. Watch Saffold here. Bullying that dude. Yes, I mean, like right here, outside zone, coaches will say that target point number 1 is the outside butt cheek of the play side tackle. 2 is the play side B gap, and then backside A gap. I really think that Henry could bust this outside. Whoever, yeah, Quessenberry's winning his block. All right, so they're motioning AJ across. Chiefs are in 2 high. They motion and nobody follows him, so they're just going to run spacing, which is just like a short yardage zone beater. One's making 12.9. Tunzel. What does anyone know what happened with Brandon Cooks? I saw some Adam Schefter tweet notification, but I was working on getting the stream set up, so I had to check Twitter. So Nick Bolton just penetrates this B gap, Henry can't get to the cutback because Ferkser can't hold his block. Yeah, trading, like, if NFL GMs are smart, the last few years would have been like the end of trading a bunch of first round picks for, you know, quote, established players, I guess, unless it's a quarterback, because you know, if you trade a first round pick for a guy, if you trade 2 first round picks for a safety or an edge rusher that's on the last year or the last 2 years of their deal, when it comes time to negotiate a new contract, they have all the leverage because they're like, well, you gave up all these first round picks for us. You're not just going to do that for 1 year of production. So you're pretty much at their mercy, and you have to pay them what they ask for. Oh, I got you. Let's get to the offense here. Honestly, I don't hate I think that this is pretty good technique by Saffold. Chris Jones is just a good player. Able to get under him with that arm. Nate Davis gonna reach block this nose tackle. He just focuses on getting to the outside shoulder, but not about driving through it. Like, that's the actual point of the block. If you're just gonna run to the outside shoulder and not be physical with it, then they're perfectly capable of just sidestepping you. The Chiefs linebackers, the other thing I noticed from just like my brief watch through. So every team coaches their linebackers differently. If you watch a Vic Fangio defense or Brandon Staley, a lot of times the linebackers don't even bite on play action. They're just like purely in coverage responsibility. Most teams, you know, they have their run fits and their coverage responsibilities, and then some teams are just so aggressive, like the linebackers are literally full steam biting on the play action so hard, and that the Chiefs fall into that category. There was a ton of space over the middle of the field anytime we ran play action. Yeah, Bill O'Brien basically made it so, like, I can't even really hate the Texans the way that you normally hate a rival, because it's like, that would just be so depressing. It's like, why am I going to waste time hating you? like life as a Texans fan, it already sucks, man. All right, so Kansas City is Kansas City's running double gum, a double gum front with, so like a lot of times you'll hear people say double mug, which means that you've got two linebackers standing right up on this A gap. Double gum is just two backers right over the B gap, and then you'll usually have your defensive line will be in a 22 front, which means that you've got both of your defensive tackles playing two technique right over the guard. They're going to have Ben Neiman head up on the center. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you've got 5, 6. Ryan Tannehill's hot. Basically throws it away. Let's see if they had like a hot route programmed into this concept or anything. I mean, this is on either Josh Reynolds or Ferkser. Most likely Ferkser, because usually it'll be the tight end, but I can't say for sure. Like most routes, if you have a vertical route, like if you're at slot or tight end, and you're running this like seam route or like smash fade or whatever, as you're getting into that route, you're watching this linebacker to see if he's blitzing, and you would say like, all right, this linebacker's blitzing. All of a sudden, they have numbers in pass protection, so I need to convert this seam route that I'm running into like a quick slant. Like that would be built into the passing play. And like to me, there's no way that they would call their, like if they're going to be hot, they would have a hot route. So I think that's on one of them, but that's just speculation. All right, nice job by Nate Davis right here. Oops. Go Quessenberry. Nice little block. Here's a nice block by Mason Kinsey. This guy kind of gets away from him at first, sticks with it. There's not really, it's kind of funny, like like simultaneously on a play watching offensive linemen and receivers block. Because I'll be watching offensive lineman block and I'm like freezing the frame, like literally going frame by frame, saying, the hand needs to be like maybe an inch over on this shoulder, or the base is a little bit too wide. And then with receivers, it's like, hey, you gave effort, man. Come on, like, way to go. All right, what are they doing in Pass Pro? See, does he point to the mic? Let me see. Game Pass started, they used to basically show 10 seconds before the play, and so you could see all of the motion and you could see the center or the quarterback point out the mic, and it made it so much easier to figure out what teams were doing with Pass Pro. But now they just cut to it right before the play. Anyways, so the Titans are half sliding to the left, which like a full slide would be basically everybody's going one gap over. Half slide, you're just going to go there. Usually you'll have the center take the will. Chris Jones is going to slash outside. So yeah, that's on McNichols, needs to take Ben Neiman, blitzing right through there. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Matt. So we'll give Saffold a point for that and for that reach block. Since we're not doing much defense on this stream, I don't think the defense has a chance to win, or as good of a chance. Titans played a lot of Tampa 2 whenever they ran cover 2 in this game, which I'm a big fan of. If you're gonna play cover 2, drop the Mike linebacker deeper, let those safeties cheat out to the sideline a little bit more. They've also been running a lot of quarters coverage in the red zone as well. See if there are any key defensive plays. What is this? 3rd and 9. Cover 1 robber. Anytime they would go into man coverage, it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's like what you do from the slot in man in cover 1 at least, but Elijah Molden playing slot here, guarding, I think, Mecole Hardman. He's always going to try to sit on the outside of that route, play with outside leverage, and know that he has safety help that's going to come down and get that. And he was matched up on Tyreek Hill a few times in the slot, and they did a pretty good job of covering that. Let's see what the rest of our coverage looks like. Oh yeah, Crookshank. I'll need to go and find this. This is not the play, but Crookshank had this crazy good press coverage rep against Travis Kelce. Like literally jammed him on the line for 2 whole seconds. He played a really good game against Travis Kelce. Oh, and then this is where Kelce wanted the hold. Let's see. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell if he's getting that shoulder pad, but after the break of the route, that's just his trail hand on his butt, really. I think that's probably okay. Hey, what's up, Marlon? About an hour. Not going to go for too much longer. Probably just go for 30 more minutes because broke down most of the defense that we were doing. Hey, what's up, Donnie? Yeah, at 9 o'clock Eastern time. People, my 2 least favorite times of the football season. Number 1 is basically the preseason, because of all the speculation about who's going to make the final 53. And like I do that too because there's nothing else to talk about. But you see right now just how fluid an NFL roster is and an NFL practice squad. People are constantly going on IR, getting called up, getting sent back, protected, all that. So the idea of this final 53 that is like that's it is just a complete waste of time because you make the final 53. Okay, great. 3 days later, there's 5 new transactions. That's my least favorite time. Second least favorite time is the weeks leading up to the trade deadline when everybody talks about trades and every team, the fans of every team just so overvalue the players that they have. I saw somebody on Twitter and it had like 20 likes. They were suggesting that we try to get a 4th round pick for Josh Reynolds. I'm like, I don't think you and also somebody said that somebody was saying that we should trade Darrington Evans for Zach Ertz. It's like, no one is going to take you up on that deal. There's Darrington Evans. I think that's Evans. Like, some people were saying he looked injured. I don't know. I just never really thought he was all that athletic. He's like, part of the reason I didn't like the pick is because if I'm getting a 3rd down back, I want someone who's really shifty. He's kind of like Derrick Henry in the sense that he's more of like a straight line kind of, bend around the tackle to build up speed. I feel like he could have had this wheel route. Yes, sir, penis. Oh yeah, the IR rules are great. Okay, so Chiefs are playing Tampa 2. So Tampa 2 is when the Mike linebacker, who would normally just be playing intermediate middle, is gonna. It's like cover 2.5. He's not covering like the full deep third of the field, but halfway in between, and then you've got like whoever is dropping out from there, flat routes right there, and then they've got a wheel route coming around the side here, and this flat defender is not going to carry the wheel route all the way down the field. And Rashad Breeland, who's got this deep half in cover 2, was really cheating over towards the hash. So he definitely could have hit. Is that McNichols, I think? Yeah, he could have had McNichols on that. But actually, well, it was 3rd and 3, so I don't blame him. Go through all of that to say that he made the right decision. Yeah, this is the thing that I keep saying is that I don't know. It's hard to criticize Derrick Henry for cutting back too much because a lot of his biggest plays come on cutbacks. But it's like, so outside zone is, if you read a playbook, like a coach will tell you that outside zone is targeting off tackle. But like that's in a perfect world, but teams are going to run blitz the edge if you run a lot of outside zones. So you're never really going to get the C gap or the D gap or whatever. And so it's usually going to be a cutback running scheme. But there's a lot of times that Derrick Henry could bring it outside, and he doesn't. And he doesn't really have the agility to be a super effective cutback runner. He can do it kind of. I mean, the vision though. I mean, the vision, like he sees this hole. Whoever this is, Ben Jones maybe. He's got his guy sealed off like that. I mean, it's not a terrible read. It's not as much like that play specifically. He gets tripped up, but I think if Derrick Henry started maybe just forcing some of these outside zones that aren't perfectly blocked, started forcing them to the outside, you'd see a lot more 5 and 6 yard runs instead of 0 and -1 yard runs. Is that AJ? Yeah. It's a really nice release by AJ. Looks like they pretty much had L'Jarius Sneed, who's their best outside corner, shadowing AJ all game. That's really where, like, AJ Brown, that's really where he makes his money in the route running realm. Yeah, Marlon, are you talking about the cover 2 on 3rd down? He's not AJ isn't a phenomenal route runner, but his combination of quickness and physicality to be able to get off the line of scrimmage and create immediate separation, that's where he really wins as far as getting open. Was that Sneed? Yeah. I'd love to see numbers on how often teams are running bunch formation with 3 of these guys stacked together. I don't know if I just maybe didn't notice it as much before, but every game I watch, I just see bunch all over the place. Yeah, that's a really nice. We got Radens playing right guard now. I don't remember Nate Davis getting injured, but really physical block here. The Chiefs are a nice front to get a good confidence booster game against. Yeah, so this is flood again that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, where you've got here they're bringing the dig route from the backside. They're going to have like a 12-yard out route and then a flat route. So you're going to get this on the flat route, and then can't remember, but let's say that this safety is coming over here, and then that's why they call it a triangle read, because it's 2-on-1. And so, but there's 2 reads that he's making. Tannehill is either doing a high-low read on this safety between, like, where if the safety takes this one, he hits the deep right here. If he takes this one, he hits that one. Or he's doing a high-low read on this flat corner, and if he takes the 12-yard if he covers the 12-yard out, he throws the flat, and vice versa. They the Titans run a ton of, like, that's definitely their most common passing concept in the red zone, really in like 30-yard line. Yeah, I am that guy. I'm the streams are in addition to the normal, like, condensed film rooms. Just for people that are interested in a more long form thing, because there's just a lot of stuff that in the film rooms that I like have to cut out or that I don't get to talk about, and there's a lot of kind of I was saying this earlier, just kind of a lot of like mundane stuff that happens on every play. You know, someone misses a block, someone does a good job with a block shed, good job in coverage or whatever. That I'm not going to just include every one of those in the video, because it would be like an hour long. I mean, this is a bad play by Tannehill, but it's kind of like, I want to say that I don't blame him, but it's not the worst turnover to make. It's kind of just like an accident. Raiden snaps, yeah. There have been a couple really nice run blocks that I've noticed from Raiden's. So I've been impressed with him. His big thing, like, I would be really interested to see him at left tackle, because I talked about this. It was like I basically did a whole segment on Raiden's in like the second half of the Tampa Bay preseason video. But coming out of college, the best trait about Dylan Radins was how smooth his kick slide was, like how smoothly he could get into his pass set. It was just like seamless. And when he went up against Joe Tryon in the preseason game, he looked like he had never gotten into a pass set in his life. And a lot of, like, it's a really common thing that offensive linemen will say about switching from left tackle to right tackle or vice versa. Like, they'll say it's like learning to write with a different hand or whatever. And that really seems like what it was like, because he just did not look comfortable. But when it came to run blocking and whenever he was on the interior, he was perfectly fine. So I mean, Kendall Lamb has been good, but would have been interested to see what Radins looked like at left tackle, because that's what he played in college. I do post the live streams. This is only the second live stream that I've done, though. I did the Jaguars game. Really good lead block from Blossom game there. Again, like what I was talking about earlier, the way that Ben Jones and Saffold pass off this one tech here, really nice. Gets that stiff arm, give him an easier angle. Willie Gay kind of gambles and undercuts. He sees the outside zone, knows Derrick Henry has a right here. Reads that it's outside zone, knows that Derrick Henry has a tendency to cut back. Says, like, I need to be going to this gap, but Ben Jones is just going to meet me there. So I'm going to undercut it. I've been really impressed by Blossingame so far. A couple really nice kick out blocks and lead blocks. .68, that's Bobby Hart. I mean, if Bobby Hart is able to land this reach block, Derrick Henry has nobody in his way. That's a touchdown. Yeah, I don't know if this is the first time that Bobby Hart has come in at right tackle, but 2 plays in a row, I can see why he was Tennessee's lowest graded player for sure. Torrey Carter's looked pretty good too when they've played him. I mean, I really am not opposed to. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about this play in the video. I think. Let's see if this is the one I was thinking about. Yeah, this is a really nice reaction from what's his name, David Long. He's just like short area quickness for days. And look at got Danico Autry pushing the pocket as well. That's where Tennessee's pass rush has just really thrived, because they still don't. I still don't think they have anyone that's a true number 1 guy, but they pretty much have 4 number 2 pass rushers. So whereas you would see maybe Jeffrey Simmons would push the pocket, but there would be no one there to clean it up last year, or Harold Landry would get around the edge, but then the quarterback could just step up because there was no interior pressure. Now you're getting 2 or 3 guys that are getting some okay pressure every snap, and that adds up to 1 TJ Watt or 1 Aaron Donald or 1 Cam Hayward or whatever. Yeah, that long mocking Kelsey was so funny. Yeah, Brett Kern had some monster punts. They were running a lot of cover 3 cloud. I talked about this in the video, but 3 cloud is just normally in cover 3. You've got your free safety and your outside corners dropping into the deep thirds, and then your strong safety comes up. 3 cloud is when you've got both safeties dropping deep and then a corner dropping deep as well. And they would actually run a lot of what's called, teams will call it 33, or I've always heard it as 33 double cloud, but that's where you have your 2 safeties, and instead of an outside corner, you have your nickel corner drop into the deep third. They would do that with Elijah Molden a lot, which I really like because he's got really good zone coverage instincts. He was kind of not that far off from Desmond King as far as like that was my comp for him. Just someone that doesn't have like high end speed, but really good zone coverage instincts. So yeah, kind of similar to him in that they were both not great scheme fits. But you see this game and the Bills game where the Titans ran a ton of zone coverage because they were pretty much forced to, were the 2 games that Elijah Molden was really successful. I don't think that's a coincidence. So here we've got it again, 33 double cloud, 2 safeties deep, Elijah Molden deep. And you're gonna like the terminology that people will use is they'll say like we're gonna cloud to the passing strength, or we're gonna play cloud coverage to the passing strength. They're gonna roll cloud coverage to where the passing strength is. So the passing strength is just wherever the most receivers are. So passing strength would be to the left side, and the running strength of the formation is where the tight ends are. But yeah, they were doing a lot of cloud coverage. Let's see. I was actually trading a late pick 5, 6, 7 for corner depth with all the injuries. The thing about trades, like you're either, it's for a guy that can play. I mean, it would depend. I'm not a fan of just like giving out picks. I feel like people say just it's like a 5th round pick, it's a 6th round pick, but Amani Hooker was a 5th round pick, David Long was a 6th round pick. The front office has shown that they can get valuable players, and I'd rather have 4 years of a chance at a quality starter on a rookie contract than just kind of like a cheap veteran. But it's like to get a good player, you're either going to have to give up a high pick for a good player or a late round pick for a good player that's at the end of his deal or that's really expensive, and we can't afford that. So I don't know. I mean, I think you kind of roll with what you got, because Christian Fulton is not a long-term injury. At least as far as we know. And Fulton, Jenkins, and Chris Jackson in the slot, like that as your top 3 corners has shown to be not a bad cornerback trio. This is that play, or that play sequence that I talked about in the video where the Chiefs ran, and this is going to be the last kind of segment that I go over, but where the Chiefs ran literally the exact same play. It's just double post, which is a really common quarters beater in the red zone. Chiefs run that kind of stuff a ton. But yeah, no, they just like run this play pretty much 3 times in a row. And it's really, red zone coverage is a lot of times really hard to identify, but I was reading through some playbooks, and I think the Titans are in what's called poach quarters, which quarters and cover 4 are the same thing. But normally cover 4 is not really cover 4 because it's match quarters, so they're playing match coverage, and match coverage just means that you have a specific rule where if this receiver does this, then I have him in man coverage. And so normally it'll be vertical match, meaning who is that? Greg Maben? Greg Maben's like, okay, if this receiver releases vertically, I'm man-to-man on him. If he immediately releases inside, I make a smash call, and then the apex defender picks him up, or whatever. Every team is going to have a long playbook with, probably like 30 different variations of match quarters that they're going to run. But I think this is poach quarters, where if we pay attention to Jenkins there and there, Jenkins is going to be playing match man on this number 3 receiver. He's going to carry that route up to the safety's depth, and then the backside safety is going to play poach technique, where he just sits on the top of that, he zones off, and then they've got 2-on-1 and 2-on-1 there, which just learned about today. So learn something new every day. Greg Maben, if y'all remember, Greg Maben was the guy during preseason, or like the first week of training camp, where all of our receivers were getting hyped up because like Jim Wyatt and the guys that were at practice would tweet about it. And it was like everybody that was catching a touchdown was catching it on Greg Maben. It's pretty funny. So yeah, he played a really good game, but I don't think he's a part of the future or anything. And then last play here, so they're running what's called cone coverage, where you're just double teaming the outside receivers. The corner's going to play with outside leverage. Safety's going to play with inside leverage. Do the same thing on both sides. And then because the last drive in the red zone, they had been having this backside safety, like I just said, they had been having this backside safety play poach technique where he would come and sit on top of this route. So Chad Henne is going to be expecting that safety to be drifting over. He's got like whatever their route concept is over here. He's looking to this direction. Nothing's open. I'll run the play. He looks to the right. Nothing's open. He's like, oh, okay, they're in that quarters coverage look. I've got a dig route right here, and this safety is going to be playing over here. But no, they were playing cone coverage. Throws the interception. Easy interception for Dane Cruikshank. Gets called back because of like something that was happening away from the play. But yeah, some interesting too high and quarters red zone defense for the Titans. If we look at, oh no. Not sure what I did there. If we look at every time that the Titans ran quarters coverage, and two cone is like basically quarters. Every time they ran quarters coverage, they ran it 9 times. They ran quarters coverage 9 times in this game, and it was all in the red zone or close to the red zone. 25-yard line, 24-yard line, 17, 17, 25, 25, 26, 21, 24. So yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, if I got hired as a defensive coordinator, I would play a lot of quarters. So I would love for them to play it in the red zone and outside of the red zone. But yeah, appreciate y'all joining the stream. And I'm heading on Titan Rossi's show in 30 minutes. So definitely go check that out. And I will see you guys later. Ryan Tannehill and Ben Jones won our Great Play contest. And so I will be donating $10 to whatever their charity is. I know Ryan Tannehill's got the dog one. We'll see.